Welcome to 99th Monkey Liberty News for Monday, March 31st, 2014. Yeah, the last day of March for 2014. The first article that I have today is about Flight 370, and it's from gemstonefreelance.com. Blockbuster, this is accurate and now 100% confirmed. Hijacked IBM engineer Philip Wood successfully dialed out of Diego Garcia. And this is just more information about this Flight 370 and what is happening, what has happened. And it's possible that these people might still be alive, so praying for them is not out of the question. This was interesting over the weekend from Yahoo News. U.S. Dutch try to deposit billions in fake bonds in Vatican Bank. Reading a headline like this on Yahoo News is just kind of funny. It brings to mind all kinds of Benjamin Fulford blogs where Fulford has said that cabal members are trying to cash in fake bonds. And I thought people might find this interesting. I know I did. From Washington's blog, London, Frankfurt, Toronto, Vancouver, and San Francisco battle to become Western centers for Chinese currency trade. Germany, England, Canada, and the U.S. are all vying to become Renminbi currency exchanges. I think this is just, watching a shift away from the dollar. And this is real. These things really are occurring, and we can hope that America is able to retain sovereignty and, well, not really achieve, not retain, because we don't have it, because we have the U.S. corporate government. But hopefully America will survive all these shifts, all these changes. We have allowed our government to be used to commit so much evil that maybe we deserve to be broken up or whatever as a country. But I'm hoping that the real people of this nation will be able to pull together and have the respect of these other nations that are probably coming into power, quite honestly. We'll see what happens, and if people like Fulford are to be believed, the people who are coming into power are benevolent and don't want to destroy America, but Americans we ourselves need to police our government and see to it that a republic, a constitutional republic, is restored here. From Paul Craig Roberts, Pushing Toward the Final War. And it seems very obvious that the cabal is trying to push us toward war. And Paul Craig Roberts has just written just about the circumstances, some of what is going on that make it seem as if war is inevitable. But of course, if we believe that, again, benevolent people are coming into power and putting down the efforts of the cabal to commit these evil acts of false flags and pushing the world toward war, we have hope. We have hope anyway. We have hope in worst case scenario. But my hope really is that people like you and like me will, all over the world, will just begin to say, no, we don't want war. It benefits just a few people, and the rest of us suffer terribly. A little about Ukraine here, more specifically from Oath Keepers. Ukraine, the corporate annexation for Cargill, Chevron, Monsanto. It's a gold mine of profits. Yeah, we look behind the curtain here and see what the real issues are. And of course, I've mentioned this before. It's really all about, the cabal wants to increase their sphere of influence, and they want to have more countries where they can draw off the resources. And I found this interesting from Blacklisted News. Ukraine's unelected government imposes IMF austerity. Of course, here it comes. I mean, these people, in Ukraine, Bohika, bend over, here it comes again. They are being taken advantage of by their link now with the EU. And from Washington's blog, here comes Ukrainian hemp. The United States wants to buy hemp from the Ukraine. I suppose we should be happy. And the blog goes on just to discuss this topic. And at the end here, I'm not a fan of devoting acres needed for food production to fuel production, but a crop that produces both fuel and food and building materials, if it really can do all that at once, might alter the calculation. Biofuel aside, hemp has more than enough benefits to start investing in it right now if sanity were on the table. Take the U.S. troops stationed in 175 countries and reduce that total by 5 countries per year. Instead, buy those countries hemp and invest billions in our own. Hire the former troops to grow it. It's a win-win-win, except for whichever profiteers have their interests in the wrong place. Watch out for them. Yeah, that was when I read this headline, that was my reaction. Well, okay, so we're buying hemp from Ukraine. Why can't we grow hemp? And as maps that I've had in the past have projected, growing hemp in this country could really be a lifeline for American agriculture, and a renewal really in again American agriculture, and could help us to be much more self-sufficient, because of the fact that hemp is a crop that can produce, biofuels, food, and other products like clothing, building materials, paper. So, and also hemp detoxes soil from radioactivity. So we need it in America. Cool that they're growing it in Ukraine, but let's grow it here, right? And almost related article from Activist Post: marijuana legalization leads to less violent crime. So yeah, just more along the lines of thoughts about legalization and growing hemp here and having marijuana available here. Friday, I had an article in the video about potential, researchers believe that vitamin D deficiencies can contribute to autism. And I want to do a little reversal, because I said that was good news. Having thought about it over the weekend and having seen this article, I think that in making statements like, autism is linked to a vitamin D deficiency in this article, they are trying to diminish the significance of vaccines in autism. Here, this article from Suzanne Purcell: researchers claim autism originates during pregnancy. Well, if that were the case, then vaccines would be off the hook, right? I'm not buying it. And quite honestly, I made a habit of pretty much believing what Suzanne Purcell writes, but I am beginning to question. I've seen some articles from her that I'm not sure that they are true information, that they're not disinfo. I haven't absolutely decided that. I'm just kind of leaning in that direction. And again, this is, people in the alternative media, people in the truth movement, are very aware that there is a huge link between vaccines and autism. And I do just want to kind of reiterate that. This is more of an intellectual approach from truth theory, the vaccine debate as a look at intellectual paralysis. And this is, more theoretical, and I wanted to just balance it by including all this information from John Rappaport. And I did a start page search, John Rappaport vaccines. And if you want, or if you are beginning to feel confused about vaccines, some of this disinfo that's coming out, is there a link between vaccines and autism? Just, go back on John Rappaport's blog and read some of what he has written about vaccines and the link with autism, and just the dangers of vaccines, and how the suggested number of vaccines has significantly, dramatically increased over the years. And some great information here from John Rappaport. Over the weekend, hundreds protest Albuquerque police violence. This is from Infowars.com. And of course, this was had to do with the homeless man who was shot to death in a park. And New Mexico, a lot of the stories that I've personally heard about police violence and people being shaken down, women being probed for, just being stopped on the highway and cavity searched. So these things have happened in New Mexico. And it's interesting, you wonder why there are these pockets of states that are, better, less tyranny, like I'm thinking of Oklahoma, who are really pressing, they said that they would not tolerate Agenda 21 in their state. And there are just some pockets of really good things happening and other pockets of not so good things happening. And I'm glad that these people in Albuquerque are protesting, because it seems from a lot of what we've read and seen and heard that in New Mexico, the law enforcement has really been out of control. And that is also where Ian Garland went through what he went through being an FFL, who was set up as part of a Fast and Furious sting and sent to jail without bail. And his whole story is fastandfuriousjusticenow.org. And I've mentioned it before, but I'm glad that people in New Mexico are stating their desire that law enforcement back off and serve the people, as opposed to being this kind of a threat. From Mercy Triumph's Fritz Springer, The Control of Islam, a systematic overview. And of course, Fritz has written pretty extensively about how Christianity has been infiltrated and affected, directed in many instances by the Illuminati. And this is kind of the balance that, this has happened in Islam as well. And just a caution for us to, I think, a good conclusion to reach here is not to hate people who embrace a certain ideology, because we've all been manipulated at various times. And I think we can extend mercy and compassion. But to make our emphasis helping people understand how they have been manipulated and controlled, so that we all can gain our freedom together. From the 10th Amendment Center, a military plot to take over America, was the mission accomplished? Just a look here, kind of for the sake of context, that so we kind of know where we stand. From the Vatican Project, media corruption, leading journalists expose major corruption. in mass media. And this does continue to happen. Truth continues to come to light. And it's wonderful to see. And if we can just all keep sharing the information that we have and helping other people become aware so that we become a tsunami of change, a tsunami of requests and demands that our U.S. constitutional republic be restored. And that's up to us. I think that ball is in our court. From Sherry questioning all, an insider reveals the experience on a natural farm where they used GMO corn and Roundup. A friend of mine worked on a, quote, natural farm, and quote, for a year. She has left it for various reasons and wrote an article about it for me to publish. This is her information about how GMO seeds and Roundup were used on a natural farm and how they get away with it and still charge the organic prices. So this is a flag. You know, when you buy food, when you vote with your dollars against GMO, against Monsanto, make sure that you are getting what you're paying for, because you're going to be paying premium prices. So this information I found very timely and helpful. Kind of a downer though. And I have some links that I am not commenting on or don't have the tabs open, but they caught my eye, so the links will be in the notes and in the details on YouTube. Obama delivers his perhaps stupidest speech in Brussels. 18 years of school and I am now an overeducated nanny. How to protect yourself from laptop radiation. The golden era of the 1950s and 60s was an anomaly, not the default setting. Well, it's probably true, because really they would prefer that we be poor and miserable as opposed to experiencing abundance and happy, right? But God intends for us to experience abundance and joy, and I think He has the upper hand. As long as we cooperate with Him, we'll have His will in our lives, which is for good. Here's something good I have in my life from the Voice of Russia. Skip the apple. It's a little cocoa a day that keeps the doctor away. Yeah, I guess most of us know that. And a little encouragement and affirmation there. From Natural News, kelp contains a fiber that slows fat intake in the body more effectively than anti-obesity drugs. That is great news. Thank you for tuning in for today's 99th Monkey Liberty News. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you will love one another, take care, and enforce the Bill of Rights.